Hey everyone, you should ask Blitz about his waifu. Welcome to Social Outcasts. I'm your host, Marsh. These are my two co-hosts.
Blitz, your host from Madness Scene. And maybe if I drink enough beer, I'll get to that.
Why do I know her?
Taco Nader!
Oh, her! So, me and Blitz have been, oh my god, me and Blitz have been playing a ton of... I'm sorry, I gotta send this to you. I gotta stop looking at it. I'm
laughing in anticipation of this. And we weren't supposed to do this. You're supposed to, make sense. News show format. We actually are professional here.
So
not the first minute we go insane.
So we were talking about Fire Emblem characters, and the character Cordelia came up. And as it turns out, I've got her as a spear chick in Fire Emblem. What is it? Heroes? You saw it?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So stuff that gamers will do.
Yep.
Wait, is that what? No, that's legit. I think.
Yeah, that's legit. That's a legit.
That is legitimate. Oh my gosh, you're right.
That's a legit piece of work. Oh man, Fire Emblem, where you can get away with sexy people fighting wars, because
Yeah, that's why it's called Waifu Wars.
Japan.
No, honestly, it's a really good game series, and it wasn't always like that. But recently they decided to up the
titty galore.
Yeah, the most egregious of which is Camilla. Just look up Fire Emblem. Actually, don't look up Fire Emblem Camilla.
You'll get some funny feelings.
You'll regret what you see. So, with that being said, I thought for this week, given that there was a certain holiday that was on Tuesday, I thought it would be appropriate if on this show we talked about relationships. And more specifically, we talked about relationship deal breakers.
She's got a bigger dick than me.
But here's the thing. Not interpersonal relationships. No, we're social outcasts. We're talking about video game deal breaker.
So I've thought, and you know what? I'm just going to keep it going. I've thought long and hard about this. And I honestly can't think of it. I mean, like,
Okay. Are there any games? I can think of two off the top of my head, three, where you said, nope, I'm never getting back into that again. So clearly you do have deal breakers. You just don't know how to describe them, is what I'm sensing.
So,
yes.
Things that just like, okay, so like the one game that I'm like, nah, I'm probably never going to play it again. People bitched about it so much. People still are. No Man's Sky, obviously. But, I mean, to be honest, I still sank 20 hours into that game. And so that's like a pretty, it's a pretty decent amount of chunk of change putting into a game that everybody
here's the
crapped
thing,
on.
But okay, let me explain kind of what this topic's about, and then maybe I can go first, and you can see if you have anything.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking about deal breakers, a deal breaker like in a relationship is when this happens, you're done, you're out, bye. Have a nice life. Right? It doesn't matter if you've been dating for one date or if you've been dating for a year or if you've been in a relationship for 10 years. This happens, boom, you're done. So the amount of time that you put into a game is irrelevant. The idea is that you were playing a game and then something happened and you essentially rage quit permanently.
See, that,
Does it have to be an existing game that I've been playing, or can it be like a series?
Whatever you want it, as long as it's games.
All
If
right,
it's a
I got one.
series,
I got one. Let me go first.
all right.
Go.
Whoever wants to go first, go for it.
The fact that Sony is charging for online play now. Oh
That's a
crap.
service, and
No,
it's been that way since the PS4 came out. Man,
well,
get with
not
the
on the PS3.
times. Yeah, not on the PS3. And guess what? You guys, you don't get free games. Like, okay, so the PlayStation Plus membership, which is what we're talking about, it's literally $60 a year. You get the whole year and whatnot. Along those lines, you get free games, like to download and keep forever. And you know what? Dragonfin Soup? Huh, that was well worth a year's subscription to PlayStation Plus. That was immensely fun, and I still want to go back and play it. It's just literally like I don't have turnoffs to games aside from like if it's too much or too intense. Like I'll probably never go and play Outlast, but that's like a horror game. That's terrifying.
So there you go. So if something's too terrifying for you, then you're out. You're done. That sounds like one to me.
I just want to say, I don't think it takes a lot to get me to quit a game because I finished Alien Colonial Marines.
Yeah. Yeah, see, there's another one, like Alien Isolation. Like, even though I knew, I've watched playthroughs of the damn game. I've seen the ending of the game. And, like, I still refuse to, like, go and play through it on my own. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
I'll
No
play
way.
with you, man.
So there you go. So your deal breaker then is the game just creeps you out too much.
But
Oh, isn't that the point?
The funniest thing is, though, is that that's what I love about it. But it's not like the movies.
You love the
I love the movies.
You love the intrigue. You love the concept of being scared, but then you don't actually want to
Initiate it. See,
face it face on.
I will
Because
watch
you're all
play
about
that game constantly.
yeah.
And
You're all about the dark stuff and everything, but then when we go around adventuring and you think you see shade watching us, you freak out and sprint away and
see, that's the thing. Okay, I hate being in control of a terrifying situation. Like I am in control of something, whether it's myself or a character in a video game. I hate to be in control. I will sit and watch the Alien movies all damn day. In fact, I did that. I got sick with the flu one day. I had to miss work. The night before, I bought the entire Aliens anthology. Started off with Prometheus, went to Aliens. What is it?
Alien 3.
It is just Alien 3,
Yeah.
and then it's Resurrection. And I sat and watched the whole damn series in one day. It was beautiful.
all right. Well, Taco Nader, do you have like any game at all that you rage quit permanently on? You're just like, nope, something happened and I'm done.
Civilization 5.
Oh.
I was about to start playing that the other night.
The vanilla version.
Okay.
Because, we had the dumb R versions down for somebody because he didn't want to spend.
Oh, I remember that game.
I
have a feeling that I was the deal breaker.
No, it wasn't you.
Okay, it wasn't me.
You were in the game.
I kind of remember I made you upset because I declared war on you and took over one of your cities or something.
Oh,
like
no,
that.
I was rushing the science victory at that point. But
Wait, it wasn't me because I have Brave New World.
no, well, whatever one that had Terracotta Army, that let me explain this.
Okay, yeah, I
Marshall
know.
was being overrun by barbarians, and I was sending my armies out there to help him and kind of explore too while I'm at it.
I remember this.
Go far out in his territory, and he goes and sends his units over to take one of my cities. And then I'm rushing Terracotta Army to get every single unit, a copy of every single unit I have in my main city just to kill his units. Because he decided, nope, I'm just going to go be a dick. And, after I tried to help him.
See, speaking of
Except
strategy
there's a
games,
problem with Terracotta Army, right?
Yeah,
The
Terracotta
vanilla
Army,
version.
it does not copy units.
Nope, it only gives you culture. It's the Brave New World expansion that actually does the duplicate units ability. So here you thought you were going to get a bunch of free units, and you're just like, hey, you're a cultured civilization.
that
Good for
reminds me
you.
of what we
Oh,
were playing.
there's another.
I was
Well,
playing
go
a
ahead.
game with Ben, and we haven't played this game since. It was Empire at War. It was a Star Wars game. Is that it? Not Sins. No way. Yeah, it was Empire at War Gold Pack. And so I had played a Empire. I played an Empire story mission that basically said, "Oh, you gotta build the Death Star and then send it out and blow stuff up with it." And so you literally see the planet that constructs the Death Star. And so I'm like, "Oh, okay, so it's this planet. That's cool." And so me and Ben were playing a 1v1 match, and all of a sudden I hear the Empire has started construction on the Death Star. I'm like, is that planet in here? Oh, that planet is in here. I threw my entire fleet at it, and I'm like, take this over. And then he's like, the Empire is no longer constructing the Death Star. And he's like, how did you know? I'm like, I literally played a story mission literally 10 minutes ago. I screwed him out of the Death Star because I essentially cheated. Oh,
Nice.
it felt so good, though. We
Very
never played
nice.
again.
Nice.
See, I think
You know
that's the
what?
thing.
You know a game we never played again either? Sins of the Solar Empire.
Yeah, I saw that. Or
Dude,
Evolve.
we should have played Sins of the Solar Empire more because we were actually having fun with that. At least I was.
I think
Oh,
it's not that I have turnoffs towards games. It's that I bring
I
them out in other people if it's a multiplayer game.
I have a few more too.
Okay, go for it.
Another one in Civ 5. I do love the game though. First time I played it, I played for 9 hours straight and didn't even realize it.
That
But
sounds about right.
so I decided to do a little fun match to see how like teams work.
Mm-hmm.
So I was the Shoshone,
As always.
and my partner was Attila the Hun. I did the enemy teams. I put Greece and Rome together. That might have been a bad idea.
Bum, bum, bum.
Japan and China, and I think I put the Ottomans and Gandhi together. Fun fact: if you're teammates with another civilization, you are technically not really on their team. You're just working together. Because I was in a perfect spot of the map where no one could touch me, and I had only had to build a few military units to keep away barbarians. And
Weren't you
so
on
I
an
was.
island in the middle of the fucking ocean?
That was another game.
Oh, that was
but
another one.
I was on a big continent with everybody, and Attila was in like blocking everybody else, but Caesar and Alexander were off somewhere else dealing with other things, so they really weren't a threat. So Attila kept attacking Gandhi, and I figured, well, he's building a massive army, and he's probably going to need money, and I'm like, I have so many trade routes and markets that I can actually afford to bankroll his.
Okay.
And so I befriend a bunch of city-states, and apparently your computer partner doesn't like that, and will attack the city-states. So they declare war on you, and he immediately makes up with them. And I'm just like, I am funding your army so you can do this, and you're going and doing that crap to me.
It sounds like you got a taste of your own medicine there.
Why?
All the crap that you do to us whenever we play games. Looks like you just got trolled by your own teammate there.
Okay, and one I just thought of too. I
Mm-hmm.
immediately quit a game because I guess like the main announcer helper guy said the word senpai.
Oh, oh my god!
You want to know what game
Okay.
that is, Marshall?
What game?
It's that stupid one you told me to try.
What game?
Got like the skateboarding skeleton guy.
Oh, what? Let It Die is awesome. It's so damn funny.
Yeah, I really wanted to stop playing after he said that.
So you got, what does he call himself? Uncle Death, I think.
Yeah, and I couldn't. The game controller is stupid. For some reason, I couldn't use my left arm after a while, or one of the tools I had.
Yeah, they break.
Oh, that was broken. How did I unequip it?
It when it breaks, it's automatically unequipped. It no longer exists on your inventory.
Well, that's stupid.
All right. Well,
So,
so
real quick, Let It Die. I've probably sank about 20 hours into that game. That game is fantastic. When you've got this skateboarding skeleton death who is a pretty much a hipster.
That's
he's
another thing.
he's got like spiral red and white spiral glasses on. And so he talks to you through the controller from time to time. And so I got up to this mid boss, Cohen. And so when I killed him, he's like, "All right, I knew you could kill that ugly piece of shit." I'm like, "Wow, okay, this is pretty fun." I love the game so much, but I stopped playing that because I started playing Kingdom Hearts, and I
all
can't
right.
remember what happened to Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, that's another thing too that you just reminded me. When they split games across different platforms, so you have to go buy the platforms.
Anymore, you can buy them all on the PS4.
So I'm gonna get into mine then before we move on to the next topic. Then.
Yours.
So see,
Okay, that's right. Sorry.
yeah, because you guys have been dominating the conversation here, which is good though, because I actually proved to you that you guys do have deal breakers for games. So for
Multiplayer
me,
mainly.
I was thinking about it, and I've noticed that a lot of times I'll be playing something, and I might put a lot of time into it, and then something happens, and I get very upset about it, and I never go back to it.
Or you
So
just hit your computer and it crashes.
that's one of them.
Europa
Okay,
Universe is whore.
so my number 3, I actually have a top 3 list here because I prepared. So number 3 for me for deal breakers is if the game's unplayable at release. Games guilty of this were Hearts of Iron 4 and Europa 4, actually. Both sequels to games that I absolutely love. And they were, I think I've talked about Europa 4 and what happened to me on this show before. Essentially, it boiled down to me getting attacked by my neighbor. I'm defending in my territory in favorable terrain with better generals, more soldiers, and I lost every battle because the freaking fighting system was broken. I think I don't even know. I was just like, I can't play this. This is ridiculous. This is unbalanced. And then same thing with the Hearts of Iron 4. It was such a joke. I mean, it's supposed to be World War II, and the whole point of the game is it's supposed to kind of be similar to it. It's supposed to be somewhat realistic. So how is it realistic for Greece to single-handedly defeat Germany, Italy, Bulgaria, Romania, and Hungary all by themselves without any help from any other allied power? Yeah, that's right. Nothing against the actual country, but in the game, Greece, is supposed to get swallowed up within like a week because they can't fight against, a German Empire with big tanks and airplanes and stuff. Nope, they whooped everybody's ass. Basically, they were the MVP of Europe. And I was playing as America. By the time I showed up, they had basically already won. And I didn't do anything the whole game. And I'm just like, this is not fun. This is not balanced. This is bad. This is unplayable, and I have not played the game since then. So when games are unplayable, I lose interest in them so quickly. My number 2 is games that force you to deal with a toxic community. I'm looking at you, Riot Games, League of Legends. That's right. When I first started playing League, I loved it. I played solo queue so much. I was having a blast. I would stay up. I'd get home late from work when I was working at Kroger, and I'd stay up like all night playing League and everything. Did great. And then something happened. I don't know when exactly. Maybe it was because I had just got into a higher elo or something, but I noticed that people started to become more and more unsavory. And it got to the point where I couldn't play a single match without some doofus going off on somebody, whether it's somebody else or me or whatever. I got so sick of it. I just basically stopped playing solo queue altogether and only played with our friends. And then every once in a while, we would get in fights with each other over it. So I'd be like, all right, you know what? I'm just done with this game. So I haven't played League in like a year. I think the last time I played was when I stole Marshall's pentakill or something like that.
Oh, well, we're not getting into that again.
So, yeah. So when a game forces you to deal with a toxic community, I'm out. I don't want to. Because with League, you can't even quit in the middle of a match if somebody's being stupid. Like, at least StarCraft would be, all right, whatever, you quit the match. League's like, how dare you? And you know what? You know who's part of the problem? Riot. They're enablers. I don't care what they say. They are enablers. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because of their bullcrap where they try to force those LCSs on you. Okay, like, at some point, the League of Legends agent started just having pop-ups. It's like, hey, watch this professional match. And, and all this stuff. And then they had this initiative where it's like, if you never got reported or if you never got banned, you would get something awesome. You know what it was? You got a freaking emblem.
No, you
an
got
emblem.
Skin.
Somebody. Okay, a skin. It doesn't matter. Something that doesn't matter. Something that you know what? You want to give me something awesome? Give me like 10 skins. Because seriously, what does it cost you? They're part of the problem. They're enablers. They keep saying that, we're totally against bad players, salty players. No, they're not. They enable it because what they do is they force this LCS crap on you. People watch that, and then subtly in their mind, they're like, you know what? I could do that too. I'm a professional gamer. I can make those plays. And you know what happens? When they go to play and they're not that good at the game and they suck and their team loses, who do they blame? Not themselves, of course not. They're professional gamers. They're part of Team 9 or whatever those teams call themselves. They're the professionals. They couldn't ever do anything wrong. So then what you get is you get 10 people in a match who they never do anything wrong. They're all professionals. It had to be my teammates. It had to be my teammates' fault that my kill-to-death ratio is 2 in 13. Oh, that's my teammates' fault. They didn't back me up there.
Bring up to that politics and League of Legends.
So that's why I ended up quitting that game, because I had enough. I had enough of the pretentiousness of the company that runs it, and I had enough of the community. So that's my number 2. But that's my number 2 deal breaker. My number 1...
They started putting boobs in your RPG strategy game. Oh, wait, you're still playing that.
It's an honorable mention. No.
Honorable mention.
Fan service is an honorable mention. No. Number 1 deal breaker for me, something that will make me stop playing a game, is when it has arbitrary difficulty. Let me explain.
Yes.
Let's say you're playing a game. This said game gives you the opportunity to build an empire. You can go around, settle these places. You can get people to join you. You can assign them tasks. You can set up a network. You can set up defenses. Sounds great. You can build up an empire, right?
Oh.
Sounds great? No. Because you know why? It turns out some of the people in your settlements can't be moved because the game says they
Oh.
can't be moved.
Oh.
Another settlement needs your help. Yeah, that's right.
Oh my God! There it
What's
is.
his name? Preston Garvey, I think his name was. Screw that guy. Preston Garvey. Okay. I can't. It just boils my blood thinking about it. Fallout 4. I joined the Minutemen. I'm like, I love this concept. I'm gonna build a settlement empire. I'm gonna own the Commonwealth. No, because what happens is every 2 seconds, literally, you'll go and turn in a quest to Preston Garvey and be like, hey, good job, General. You turn your back. You don't even turn your back all the way. And he says, another settlement needs your help. Another settlement needs your help. This is arbitrary difficulty because what they're doing is they're basically giving you busy work to stop you from doing what you want to do. Oh, you want to have a settlement empire? Well, you need to fight these super mutants. Fun fact. You know what your title is as a member of the Minutemen?
General.
You're the general. You know what generals do?
Sit in an office and say, "Lunch the nukes."
They delegate work. You know why? Because they have people that they can delegate it to. Nope, not Fallout 4. Yeah, you're the general, right? You got to do everything else. The Minutemen. We're the Minutemen. Why can't I tell the Minutemen, go take care of this for me? Why can't I say, assign 12 soldiers to go take care of this super mutant menace? Go assign 6 soldiers to protect this caravan. Why can't I do that? Why? No. I have to be the one to do it. So I can't even build my settlement empire because the game's like, we're going to make this impossibly hard on you. And some of them are timed quests that can actually fail if you don't address them. Yeah, I tried that. I tried ignoring them, and they fail it, and then your people die, and then you lose the settlement. That's artificial. You know another game that had artificial difficulty?
I wish they had that. I wish there was a mod that plays The Price is Right losing corn whenever you fail a quest.
You know another game that has artificial difficulty? Fire
Souls?
Emblem Fates Conquest.
Oh.
That's right. Fire Emblem. Mm-hmm. Okay, explain to me why every ninja needs to have seal speed when their knife attack already reduces your speed. Yeah, that's right. So they hit you, you lose 3 speed, and then their skill makes you lose 5 more, which means you get double hit by everything, and basically you die, and you lose your character. And if you play the game like me, where you don't let anybody die, and you do a perfectionist run, it's a nightmare. And I'm not going to get into this toxic, because there is a toxic community with Fire Emblem, unfortunately, of people who are elitists and who are like, oh, you peasants don't know how to play this game. I'm not even going to get into that, okay? I'm just going to talk about the game. Explain to me how this is fair. You're fighting against this boss. This boss has the best unit on your team has a 30% chance of hitting him. Because he's sitting on a spot that gives him added defense, added evasiveness, and by the way, he has 2 different weapons that can. One of them is magic based, and one of them is physical based. So no matter what you go at him with, he can just one hit kill you. What? How is that fair? Explain to me how it's fair that a boss late in the game has a staff that can reduce the maximum health of your units by half, and he can use it infinitely many times and hit you anywhere on the map. Explain to me how that's fair. Okay? Arbitrary difficulty.
Boss fight.
Arbitrary difficulty pisses me off. Difficulty does not piss me off. A game that is fair but difficult, I'm fine with that because it's like, okay, you have to be smart. You have to
get him to play Dark Souls and see how he feels.
Figure out. It depends. If Dark Souls is a fair game, I'll have no problem with it.
That remains to be seen.
If it's not fair, I would refuse to play it. Okay, to me, fair is when the developer took a very careful thinking and level design and said, okay, let's make this so that this is doable, but it's maybe not immediately obvious how you're supposed to do it. Okay, arbitrary difficulty is like when you're playing Civilization and you play it on deity mode, and you start in the Stone Age and all the other computer civs start in the modern age, and you have to try to beat them. That's arbitrary difficulty. You see the difference? The difference is when you just throw handicaps on the player or buffs on the computers or both, as opposed to designing the level so that it's challenging. It's like a puzzle. You're trying to figure it out. Okay, what's my strategy? How do I deal with this? There's a difference. And it's a gray area. It's not a fine line. It's a gray area. But arbitrary difficulty, can't do it. Game is like that. I'm done. It breaks me. Even if it's a game that I love. I mean, I'll still play the Fire Emblem series, but Conquest, I'm sorry. I'm not an elitist. I'm not a hardcore gamer. I'm not going back to that game.
Well,
all right. Sounds like I've answered for long enough, so...
It sounds like that game has destroyed your hopes and dreams. And speaking of dreams, I want to know if you guys have had reoccurring dreams. And I'll kick us off on this one, because this was a little weird. So I had a dream last night that I was flying to Australia. Oh God. And what happened was I brought my notebook along with me. And so when I was writing in my notebook, I stumbled across this page. Like, what's this page? And I have no clue what was on it. I cannot remember for the life of me. I vaguely remember that it was about a half page and it was noting some sort of event or something of my story. And I'm like, that seems very familiar. I'm actually flipping through my real life notebook. I'm like, it's not in here. Huh. That's weird. Where have I seen that before? And then I remembered the couple of nights before, that same page existed in my dreams, in my notebook. So it's like, I'm just dreaming about the same page? What?
You better take note of that.
Yeah, next time.
Because it's a notebook, you know.
Yeah,
so, okay.
You guys go. I'll be right back. I'm grabbing a drink.
You got anything, Taco Nader? Recurring? Have you ever had the same dream over and over again, or like even a sequel to one where it's like you're like, okay, I'm glad I never dreamed that again, and then suddenly just boom, there it is again.
Well, let's see. This had to do with because I shared a room with my brother, and he would get up early on the weekends and watch the same movies over and over again, like Jurassic Park and Harry Potter. So,
no wonder you like those so much. Subtly, they seeped into your mind.
So when I was sleeping, I would hear these movies again and again, and they would kind of seep into my dreams. So there was this one where I'm on the grounds of this really big mansion, and they have like a ton of acres of different, think of like some old colonial mansion from like a plantation or something, but with a lot of hedges and kind of like a hedge maze too.
Okay.
Yeah, a big yard. So when he played those movies, I would hear a T-Rex, and basically the safe zone was inside the house where it couldn't get you, and I had to run from
through
the
this
very
maze,
edge.
and there's a T-Rex.
As the T-Rex is like bashing through the walls trying to find you.
Oh man, that's good.
And then another one, my elementary school.
Ooh.
The front side was safe. The back side, where like the older kids played, had or dinosaurs in it.
Okay.
That's like two I remember.
See, for me, for recurrence in dreams, very rarely do I have it where that something will be like a continuation. Where I'll dream something and then the next day it'll continue. I don't think I've ever had that happen, but I have had recurring themes. Like, for example, I've had dozens of dreams of being in a prison and breaking out of it. And it's usually a different style of prison every time. In fact, it even inspired one of the stories that I'm supposed to write. You know. Another recurring one I've had too is one where people are chasing after me. Those are always the freaky ones because usually it's like a mob running after me, and things usually don't end well. Another recurring theme I've usually had is people shooting at me or I shoot back at them. Usually what happens is I get hit by several bullets but don't feel a thing, and then I blast them and apparently it takes care of them and I'm fine. Very, very bizarre. Yeah, so usually I have recurring themes like that. I don't know what triggers them. Usually, I guess like games. Okay, if I'm playing shooter games, that's probably the shooter ones coming in. As far as like the chasing and the prison ones, I don't know. Maybe it's like you could go deep and say maybe it's my emotions or something. I will say this though. I also get weird ones. Like for example, one earlier this week. I believe it was the night of Tuesday, which would be the 14th. So in this dream, I was set to marry this woman, and we were only weeks out from our wedding when I found out that she was engaged to marry someone else.
Bum, bum, bum.
And had the full knowledge, intent of marrying both of us. That's right. So my reaction was, nope, I'm out. I want nothing to do with this. Bye. See ya. And she got really pissed off at me. And it was like, well, what the hell? I thought you loved me and everything. I'm like, well, yeah, until I found out that you wanted to marry two different men. And she's like, well, what's wrong with that? I'm like, well, yeah, I don't want to have anything to do with that. And it got even more awkward because the other guy, he got pissed off about it too. And he's like, dude, what the heck? Everything was going to be great, and now you're backing out on us. I'm like, us? What the heck are you talking about, dude? We can't have the same wife. What? Are you kidding me? He's like, why not?
This got weird.
I was like, no, this is not happening right now. I don't remember the rest of it, but I just get like weird ones like that every once in a while, where it's just like, I don't know. It always seems to end up with me getting away from something. So I'm either escaping prison, I'm running away from people chasing after me, I'm getting away from somebody trying to kill me, or I'm getting away from a person that I'm supposed to marry who then turns out to be interested in marrying several people. I don't know.
Marriage.
All I know is I want nothing to do with that. Maybe that exactly in the dream, and maybe in real life, I'm just a person who's just like, nope, I'm out. As you just heard my rants on deal breakers. Maybe I'm onto something there. Well, that's all I got to say on that. I know that's a turn for the weird, but hey, when you lead off the show talking about waifus, things are going to get weird, I suppose. Which I guess I can save that for the end if there's time. Okay. Now,
yeah, we can probably end on like a rant about the week instead of starting off on it. I don't know. We're still working on it, but still 2.0 and sticking to the Sticking to your guns.
Speaking of guns, you
Someone got
finished
shot in the
watching a
face.
show with a boomstick, right?
Yeah.
In the last
Oh.
episode, I can't remember. I think we did. But you had an interesting topic on it for us, so go ahead and throw it out there.
Well, the show is Ash versus Evil Dead, and the topic is the dark humor that's in that show. So, the fact of the matter that there's so much blood, so much gore, it is a very messy show. And the fact that I started recently watching a new one called the Santa Clarita Diet. Now, you look at this and it's like, the hell's this all about? It's got Drew Barrymore in it. What? What is this guy trying to make me watch? Lifetime? Nope. So, the Santa Clarita Diet, without going into major spoilers, is about a everyday, uh, normal everyday family that lives in the middle of nowhere. And then, for no reason, all of a sudden, the wife turns into the undead, and
Okay.
then starts to eat people. Oh my god, it's hilarious.
That
There's this.
sounds just random.
It does, and it is, and it's ridiculous. And so, the guy walks in on this horrific scene. I'm not going to spoil how it happens and whatnot, but he just walks in on this horrific scene, sees his wife, and he's like, "Oh gosh, she's dead," and starts hugging her, holding her tight, and
Bite?
petting her. No,
No?
and she's gone. And he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, you're dead," and whatnot. And it's like, "But I feel fine." What the fuck? So like, he thought she was dead, and then she's just like, eyes open. But I'm fine. Oh my god, the show is amazing. It's so bizarre. I can't even begin to explain like how the humor works. It's not the everyday like, oh, laugh out loud. It's quirky, it's cringeworthy some of the times. And other times it's just downright disturbing where you can only laugh it off.
Right.
Oh man, it's one heck of a ride. And I remember when we first started watching it, I had no clue who was in it besides Timothy Oliphant, who's literally one of my favorite actors in the world. And I'm watching it and I'm paying attention to the wife and I'm like, is that Drew Barrymore? Chrissy was sitting next to me. She's like, yeah, you didn't notice that? I'm like, yeah, no, because I haven't seen her in a movie since, I don't know, 50 First Dates. And that was literally the last thing that I ever saw her in was 50 First Dates with Adam Sandler. I'm like, wow, that was
She
pretty
was in
spot
that new
on.
movie with Adam Sandler.
Yeah, but I haven't seen the new movies of Adam Sandler.
Bum, bum,
Dun
bum.
dun dun. Bum, bum, ba-dum. But, so, anyway, the whole dark humor thing, it's what's exactly your limit? Well, at one point in time, does a man get shoved up another man's asshole and then shit out? Where you go, that's probably the line where I'm going to draw it and say, like, that's a bit too much. Or, like,
Well, I think this is a rhetorical question that you're posing here because I have a feeling that for you two, there is no limit.
oh, I have no limit. I will laugh my ass off at literally anything. You should see my Reddit history.
I believe it. I mean, I see a snippet of it in the pictures that you guys
Yeah.
send back and forth. And I'm pretty sure Jacob over there, Taco Nader, whatever he wants to go by, pretty
Yup.
sure he doesn't have a limit either.
Oh, what?
A limit to dark humor. Like, what things, or like anything, well, not necessarily No, yeah,
Things that
dark
I
humor.
won't laugh at.
Yeah.
Mentally challenged people.
You laugh at Peter
Uh,
Griffin.
that's a cartoon.
But
That was probably the most unintelligent thing I've heard uttered on this show so far.
Well, he is technically. If you haven't seen it, he is legally mentally retarded.
aha.
But
I still think that sounded stupid.
I mean, jokes as in special needs people.
That's your limit.
And I think cancer is a no-no.
Anything else?
See, oh
Recent
my god.
tragedies.
It's,
I
That's
don't know.
Discussion.
I mean, I listen to very vulgar comedians like Jimmy Carr, George Carlin, Daniel Tosh, Anthony Jeselnik.
I only know
So-
Tosh.
Yeah.
You never heard of Jimmy Carr?
No. I
I'm
might
shocked.
have, but I can't remember.
He's a British guy. He was on the show Distracted on Comedy Central.
No. So, perfect segue, though, is that I saw the dark humor. Or no.
Mhm.
What was it? I can't remember what it was.
He's got nothing.
It was like a dark humor joke, and it was absolutely terrible. I'm like, this is funny because we're talking about this on the show,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and like,
So
that's why I chuckled at it.
for me, I've never been dark comedy. Here's the thing about dark comedy with
I
me.
remember it now.
Okay, yeah. Here's the thing with dark comedy. One, I'm not really big into comedy, and two, I'm not really into horror. So naturally, putting the two together, I don't really care for it. So there are exceptions. Like I watched a little bit of Ash versus Evil Dead, and I found it to be pretty funny actually. And I've seen some other stuff, but on the whole, I don't really watch or view or play games or whatever that has dark comedy. I mean, I suppose you can consider Breaking Bad a dark comedy in a sense.
There's some dark moments where you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, and I was able to watch that whole series just fine. So for me, the limit comes in based on what it's making fun of and what gets brought up, essentially.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily the content. Like, all right, I can deal with, even though it's like I probably won't laugh at it because I think it's just stupid. Like if I see something that's like, oh, this is really gory or this is really bloody or something. The reason why I like Ash vs. Evil Dead is because it has wit, not because there's blood and gore and everything. It's because it has wit. That's what I find funny.
Damn it, Ash. Look first, then saw.
Right. Exactly. So, but anyway, so the blood and stuff or death, it doesn't bother me.
That's not necessarily even like dark humor. Dark humor is
Yeah.
like, okay, the joke that I saw today on Reddit was, God, I'm gonna feel like a terrible person. You know what? No, I'm not gonna say it because I'll feel too bad about it being on the show.
Yeah, so
I'm
don't go there.
gonna type it out to them and whatnot.
Anyway, so I mean the point is, so it's not something that I would like laugh at, and usually when I see it I'm just like, that's stupid. Where I have a problem, and like, so as you said, a limit is when it starts insulting religion. That's when I have a problem. That's when it starts getting into the making fun of God or Jesus. That's when I start taking it personally. As you probably have found out, because I think I went off on you one time when you were posting. You posted something, and it's like if the devil is this, then God must be that. And I just remember I got very upset about that.
Oh, it's a scene from a movie, basically.
Yeah,
Jacob, tell me what movie that is because I'm trying to
I don't
remember what it
know.
is.
I can't remember. I don't know what it's from.
but anyway, the point is, like, religion's important to me. So, like, when I see stuff making light of it, I'm like, first of all, it's not funny, and second of all, that's insensitive, and third of all, it's not funny. And so, it bugs me because I take it seriously. I go to church every Sunday, and I do participate in other stuff too. So when I see that, it's just like, that's kind of making fun of me in the sense, and I don't appreciate that. So that's why I have a limit when it goes there. That's when I'm done. And I've had times too where I've watched videos and like somebody will like make a joke about something that's God or church related. I'm like, nope, I'm done. Just close out the video. I'm like, nope, I've had enough. I can't. I'm done with that.
And see,
So,
Jacob, I gauged that. Well, at least in my eyes, right? I sent Jacob a picture where it looked like there was an angel talking with a guy, but it looked like the angel was doing the stop hitting yourself, and like it had a speech in it like that. And so I only sent it to Jacob because I figured that would be crossing the line with you.
potentially, yeah. So, like I said, for me, that's because it's important to me. I can't. So when stuff goes down that route, that's where I'm done with it. But the other stuff, I have a pretty high tolerance level for a lot of things. It's just that's really just the one thing that's just a no for me. But other stuff is so my other limit, and it's not really dark comedy. It's just comedy in general. I've always been of the opinion that whenever a comedy or a comedian or anything trying to be funny goes down the I'll be explicit here, goes down the sex route, I feel it's a sign of weakness. Because to me, that's something that when you bring that up, and I see like those games, that we've played, like the Cards Against Humanity and all that, it's the reason why I don't like it is because I think it's cheap humor. It's like, okay, that's always going to draw a laugh out of somebody. That's always good. Somebody's going to snicker at that always. To me, it's weakness. It's like you can do better than that. That's not witty at all. I appreciate witty humor. I don't appreciate crude humor because I think crude humor is, quite honestly, and I don't even care if I sound like an elitist here, I think it's unintelligent. I think it's moronic, and I think it's sophomoric. And I don't appreciate it, so that's why I don't find it funny.
Us, Jacob. He does not appreciate us.
So when stuff devolves into the hey, let's make a dick joke, or hey, I'm like, that's stupid. I don't even
like Seth Rogen movies.
I don't think that this was intentional, but the way that it's set up, I've been listening to the Dune audiobooks. Well, at least the first one for the literal past week. And I just got to a point where there's this kid who's insanely smart. She's got, like, the history of essentially a bunch of people who've seen a lot of shit and whatnot. And so there was a baby that was born that this 2-year-old was at, and she's like, oh, it looks like so-and-so. But he disappeared. Well, God, what was it? It was something like the mother and father were split apart at the time, but it looked like someone different. So I think it literally stated like a adultery joke from a 2-year-old who's insanely intelligent, and it's like,
yeah,
the baby looks like so and so, and it's like, shut up, or something like that. I'm like, did they seriously try that? That's hilarious. That's awesome. And I was laughing so hard at it too. Where it's like,
yeah. I would just whenever I hear jokes that go down that route, it's not like the making fun of religion where I get upset about it. It's more like I roll my eyes and be like, yeah, that's lame. That's weak. You can do better than that. That's just my personal feeling on it. So, and not to say that I don't find awkward things funny, because I do, but usually it's funny for interesting reasons. But when it's just straight and plain forward, hey, let's make this kind of joke. Yeah, and sorry, can't do it.
And on that note, after mine and Jacob's hopes for being comedians has been dashed, do you guys have any final say?
Walkouts. Channel related, in case you're wondering where the heck the next gaming videos are, they're coming. I'm playing a stealth game. So the episodes are very long. Not like over an hour, but they're going to be like a half hour or so each.
Dishonored.
It's a stealth game. It's an old game from, I got the box right here, 2004. It's on the PlayStation 2.
Oh, you can't spoil it, Jacob. Not until it starts going out.
Yeah. So anyway, it's fun. It's a game that I think it's a perfect example of a game lost to the ages, because I think it's basically everybody knows the series, but this entry in it, they probably are just like, huh, that was a game in this series. But yeah, so I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I have half of the game already done and played and recorded. I'm in the editing phase, and I will get those out to you soon. I can't promise any dates, but it's on its way. That's what I've got. You guys got anything?
Nope.
No. Going through a garbage day tomorrow, because people who are participating in it, I don't think are ready, and I have to deal with that unpreparedness and sacrifice a work day. But yeah, go figure.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna bore anyone with my crap that I have at.
I already hear the crickets.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, is it possible for me to at some point borrow your microphone so I can record music?
When and where?
The details to be worked out later. I'm still in the process. I do have a draft of what's supposed to be the theme song for the show, but I'd like to improve it.
Okay.
And yeah, but I'm just wondering, like, as a general question, if I've got stuff and I'm like, hey, I want to do a recording session for like a couple hours, would you mind?
Not at all.
Awesome. All right.
So
great.
that was channel related. Well, podcast related anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Stuck to our guns for 2 weeks in a row. Let's keep this train going.
This might be the shortest episode ever, too. It's going to be less than an hour.
Yeah, probably. I've been writing. I can say that.
Good.
I want to get over an hour, so I want
that picture you sent was pretty funny about writer's block.
Oh yeah. I don't have my phone with me. You want to read it?
It was all right, real quick.
I can do it real quick. It was we break down your writer's block.
It's like the definitive guide to getting past writer's block. And then it's circled and somebody wrote,
don't be a bitch, just write.
And with that note, have a good evening, everyone. Take care.